So here we are in Bangkok at the beginning of our fast forward, and we're about to take some questions. Here's everyone in Bangkok. Do you want to say hello? All right, okay. So, oh wow, they're still waiting. All right. Okay, so we're coming over for a question. We're doing a Q&A at the moment about the wealth spectrum. We have here Sam, who just asked a question. We're gonna
get to.
All right, awesome. Okay, so Sam, do you want to just repeat the question you just asked?
Sure. So I run a fitness company here in Bangkok, and I'm a yellow creator profile. I'm very good at selling, and I'm trying to build a team that does the same thing, which didn't happen last month. So my sales dropped about 50%.
50%.
Yeah.
So you were making the sales yourself.
Yeah.
You said, right, I need a team. Did you get some team members?
I have some team members.
How many in your team?
6.
Great. Okay, so you got team members. You trained them up. They went out. They with 6 people and yourself, you made half the sales you made when you were doing it yourself.
Pretty much.
Now the question is what to do, right?
Yeah. And I also hate running the meeting, leading the team.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So do you remember what I was saying to everyone, that the thing you need to do if you're a creator is to get the right team. The first person you should be looking for is someone who can lead the team for you, right? So someone who's a supporter, which is what 2 across, is the person you actually need to lead your team. Supporters also are going to be much better at actually leading the sales team, it just so happens, because they're bringing fire to your wood, right? So you can say, hey, what's really going on here? How do I lead by example while the team's then growing? I bet you probably got someone who already is one of your team, or someone you know who'd be actually really good at being able to have a conversation with people quite easily, lead the team to actually say, right guys, let's go do this next. This is what Sam's doing, let's see how we can replicate what he's doing as well, but where you're then leading by example, right? Now, I'm gonna ask you a really important question, which is, what are their sales targets? How do you set your sales targets, right? I'm gonna come back to Sam, yeah?
We don't set, well, we do have a target of like 100,000 baht a month.
Okay.
I haven't.
As a team?
Not as a per person.
As per person.
Yeah,
Okay.
Per person. So we
All right.
do want that.
Okay.
Sort of volume.
What were you generating when you were doing it?
350.
350. Okay. So you're saying, and who came up with 100,000?
One person came up with 100,000.
Okay. Achieved 100,000.
They got about 70 to 80.
On each of them got 70 to 80.
Not all 6 of them, but one person did.
One person did, right? Okay. So this is the second thing, is that if you've got people in your team that are setting their own targets, then most likely to probably hit different targets. So your goal, you want to figure out how to go from yellow to green level. Yellow level is constantly setting expectations that they want other people to meet, and others will never meet the same level you can meet because it's your business, it's not their business. So the first thing is setting expectations, which the moment they can't think they can meet it, then they're already going to give up, or they're already going to think it's not their number anyway. The moment you get them to set their expectation, like the person who got 70,000, if you said, well, you got 70,000 last month, what can you achieve this month? Maybe 80. Well, how about we give you a bonus if you hit 80, right? He'll go out there, he'll hit the 80, right? The other one who got 60, it's like, well, do you think you can do better than 60? As long as they're earning their way, then even if they only get the 60 or the 70 compared to your 350, if they can manage themselves to do that, you don't have to spend all your time managing them because they're already self-managing themselves to their expectation. So yellow level is focusing at how do I get people to meet my expectation. Green level is helping people to set their own expectation and then getting them to exceed their own expectations. So it's not about how do I make money, it's how do I help them make money, right? How do I actually get them motivated to actually earn more, which allows them to then want to actually work harder, because the yellow level worries more about the business than anyone else in the business. They're all going home at night, maybe worried about their job, maybe worried that they're disappointing you, but they're not worried about their business. They don't think the whole business is going down because they're doing a bad job. But the moment that they themselves are actually as focused at worrying about the business and how it's growing because of their part in it, you're going to find the whole thing is going to switch as a result of that. More importantly, don't be the one managing the rhythm, managing the teams. Be the one that actually is out there achieving the results that you're achieving. And most importantly, if you're bringing anyone into your team, your focus should not be how do I make the team bigger. It should be how do I make my time more effective. Because your business is a time machine. What that means is, if by bringing the team in, it doesn't make your own time more valuable, then you've done something wrong. So if you bring a team in and now your time is half as valuable because you're only making half as much, you've done something wrong. If on the other hand, You said, hey team, when you come on board, one of my goals is that before I used to spend all my time selling and hitting 350,000. Now my goal is, with you guys on board, I'm only going to spend half my time selling to hit 350,000. You're still going to hit the 350. Now you're going to think, well, what am I going to do different and more effective with my team? Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to make all the calls to qualify everyone. I'll get one person in the team to do that. Then every time I'm speaking to someone, I've already got a qualified buyer. I'll make more sales that way with less time. You start thinking about how to make your own time more valuable, and now you are not one person doing all things. You're now letting all people do one thing, and your one thing is being more effective with your time. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah, this is like super important because it's the biggest issue, which if you don't get this right, you'll go back to trying to do it all yourself, and you lose the team, and then you're kind of back to one-man band again.
And the question
Yeah.
becomes, am I the right person to lead the team or set that target for the team, or
Neither. You don't set the target, they set the targets. Right? If you said your goal as a team is to make me more effective, so I'm going to hit my number in less time, what can you guys do? And they all come up with numbers. Between your 350 and their 200, let's say, between them, you're now making 550, and you've got more of your time, right? Then it's not about you setting their targets. They set their targets, you help them support them on their targets. You set your target, they help support you on your target, right? Eventually, you won't have to sell anymore. But at this point, you need to lead by example, right? And then the second thing is you don't have to lead the team. Each team member will lead themselves, and you have one person that coordinates all of you to actually share your stories. And you get together and you say, right, every one of us will come together every week and we'll share what's working, what's not working, what's the customer story we can share, what's the learning we can share, and each of you are now managing yourself instead of you spending your time trying to wonder why they're not hitting a target they never set in the first place. Make sense?
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's give a round of applause for that. Thank you. All right, and we're going to come over and take another question. Who would like to ask a question? We have a question from anyone else? Anyone else? Question? We have a hand up right over here. Oh, very close. We're going to take two questions, right? But we can start. Your name's Arm. It's Arm here. Can we give Arm a round of applause? Let's give Arm a hand.
Hello,
Hi.
my name is Am. I'm doing in the business IT services and
Yes.
infrastructure setting up
Right.
in a small office and a big office. So I'm a yellow deal maker.
Okay.
Okay, I do business analysis about 4 or 5 years and quite stable, but it can get to
This is IT
IT
consultancy.
Yeah, IT consult and services.
Great.
And set infrastructure like a network server, something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. So my question is, it's possible to how many business to try to get up to the next level, but have to totally change the business.
You think you have to change or you want to change?
Just one option,
Okay.
maybe.
What would you like to achieve in the next year? If you had your perfect vision of your business and your life, what would be different in the business in terms of quantity or in terms of size? What would be different in your life in terms of quality, in terms of your time and what you'd be doing?
I'm not sure that.
What you haven't decided
Yeah,
yet?
not decided
Yeah.
yet.
So this is a little bit like asking, all right, like how do I get to where I want to get to more effectively? And then when you're asked, well, where do you want to go? It's like, I'm not sure yet. Most of us are lost not because we don't know where we are. Most of us are lost because we haven't decided yet where we're going. So as a result, no one's able to actually help us, right? What's the revenue of your business right now?
Around 10 to 15 million baht.
Per month, so sorry, per year. So this is being pretty regular, 10, 15 million.
Yeah.
And if you were to choose a number next year, would it be the same number?
Maybe.
Yeah?
I'm not sure that because now it's like a time to change.
Right.
Because I stuck in this world for 2 years.
Do you know why you're stuck? Because exactly what you just said, you haven't made any decision of what you wanted to do to change it in terms of size.
Because the IT trend is so just it depends on the staff.
Now, hang on. Is it possible that there are some companies, maybe even here in Thailand, in the same sector as you, that are already 10 times bigger? It's possible, right? In fact, it's actually happening, right? Is it possible in the world that there are businesses which are 1,000 times bigger than you in the same sector? Of course, right? It's happening. So it's not about the market. This has nothing to do with the market. It has everything to do with you making a decision on where you want to take it. Okay, I want everyone to try a little exercise. If you're watching this at home, you can try the same exercise. Hands up, who's heard of Richard Branson? Richard Branson? Okay, we've all heard of Richard Branson, okay? So try this exercise, right? And you can do the same thing as well. I'd like you to shut your eyes, and imagine Richard Branson. Big picture of Richard Branson in front of him. There he is, he's got his beard, he's smiling at you. And now imagine that tomorrow morning, Richard Branson woke up in your bed. Okay, you can open your eyes, right? No, okay, not with you in it, right? This is about, this is about, yeah, some people are like, oh, Richard Branson. Yeah. So, no, it's not that you're in the bed with him, it's that he's in you. He's actually woken up with your body. He's like, you had this magic spell where some witch or someone has said, Richard, you have to wake up for 12 months as arm, right? So that means that you wake up now and you're Richard Branson, but you've got arms, body, right? You've got arms, house, family, business, bank account, but you've got Richard Branson's mindset. And he now has to live your life for 12 months, but he can do whatever he wants, right? What's the chances that after even 1 week, you would already be at a totally different level of wealth, right? Yeah? And why did that happen? It happened because every day, every moment, he's already thinking things different. We talked about Lighthouse in a different voice in the head. He's seeing things you're not seeing. He's deciding things you're not deciding. He's saying, hey, what's the plan here? What are we actually trying to do? What do we want to do? Oh, I can do anything. Well, let's take this here in Thailand. It's an IT company. Lots of exciting things happening. There's a tech startup scene that's just taken place. There's all this money that the government's just now giving towards it. Perfect. We could actually team up straight away with the government or with some of the organizations that are here in the room and actually provide that tech service to those tech companies that actually know they can get funding if they've actually got all the tech plans, but they don't have the tech expertise. We can come in, we can do that, and straight away, boom, you go from 10 million to 100 million. You see that? Right? Because that's the decision. He, on the other hand, go, this is a great company, I don't have to work here, I love Thailand, I want to go scuba diving, I want to go out there kite surfing, so I'm going to organize this company so that within 1 month, I don't have to be working it anymore, and I'll just get income from it so I can pay for my lifestyle, and I'll go traveling. It's depending on what he decides, but the company is just a mirror of yourself. And so if you make a decision what you want to do with it, then you'll find not just will you have solutions, but if you ask me a question, like what should I do with my company, I'd be able to help you because I'd say, well, where are you going? If that's where you're going, then here's the simplest, easiest way to get there. But there's a huge difference of someone like Richard Branson choosing to take your business and multiply it 100 times over compared to taking your business and giving himself the lifestyle he wants. And it's exactly the same with you. You can take your business and you can take it as a vehicle to wherever you want to go, but you need to be clear where you want to go first. And more importantly, you'll then attract the people into the company that will support you on your journey, provided you're willing to support them on their journey as well. Biggest difference of a yellow level business where it's all about you is you're on a motorbike where you can only have 1 or 2 people on board and they better want to go where you're going. Whereas a green level business is a bus where you're checking where everyone wants to go and it's stopping off at every point. So you're making sure that it's not just serving you, it's serving the other people in your business as well. Does that make sense? Some of you are in partnerships or in family businesses right now, where one of you just wants a lifestyle. Maybe your parents want their lifestyle, others basically are like, I want to make my business successful. So you have to have that conversation with everyone to say where do we all want to go, and how is this business going to be able to grow to be valuable to the customer, while it's also serving each of us, instead of us being slaves to the business. Does that make sense? Awesome, let's give him a round of applause for that. Great question. One final question. We're 14 minutes in, so we've got time for one final question here. We had a hand up, which was over there. Who had their hand up? One of the ladies at the back. Oh, there she is. In the white, there. Okay, so we're coming around this way now. And your name is? Or? Can we give all a round of applause? Thank you all.
I'm Orange.
All right.
I'm a supporter.
Okay.
And I've been a corporate employee all my life.
Yeah.
So if you want to leapfrog to the 3 steps further upwards.
Okay. So tell us all, and you can tell the camera as well, what is your biggest passion?
Education.
Okay.
And I'm very good at English.
You're very good at English? Have you noticed there are some entrepreneurs in the room today who are in English education? You've
Probably.
noticed them, right? Yeah, you've seen them. In fact, we've had them on stage as well, right? And at orange level, rather than going and trying to figure out your own business, the biggest thing is saying, what do I earn the right to do that would mean someone who's already got the kind of business I'd love to be part of, with the environment I can learn in, that I would be of value to them. So if you were to share with everyone in this room who may be in an education-based business, what you do really, really well, and if you were to join them in the team, you would be of high value in doing, what is that?
Well, I'm good at presenting and teaching.
Yes.
And training, like communicating English in a very simple language.
Right? So you're really good as a trainer. I bet that you spend more time than many really understanding your students to find out how you can use money. Is this true? Yeah?
I haven't taught.
Oh, you haven't taught?
Yeah.
So who have you
It's a
taught?
passion.
Have you taught? I mean, you must have been teaching even for free, right? Who have you taught when you smile like
I
that?
used to train in companies, like for workshops.
There you go, right? So when you're training in workshops, like, do you find that you spend that extra time really getting to know the people that you're trying to train so you can make sure you're getting the result you want to get?
Not really.
I mean, do you know how you see some people who might say, I just want to have like an online program. They won't even meet their students, but they just want to have that so they can actually have, you know, more and more people doing it. You know, some people who like being on stage and sharing, but won't necessarily actually get connected with the students to see how the results are going. When you were doing the training in the companies, how were you doing it? Were you getting to know whether it was working or not, or was that not so important to you?
Well, it's not my main profession, so I didn't really spend time doing it.
Okay,
yet.
but how did you end up doing the training? Who asked you to do it?
Oh, it was in the workshop that I was trained. I was a student, but
Okay.
I got to be a trainer. Like,
All right.
to be a trainer.
And what were you passionate about when you did that? Why were you passionate?
I felt engaged with the audience. And I
Okay.
felt it was my self-expression.
How did you feel that? What is it that they did that made you feel that you were engaged
I
with
got
them?
compliments.
Oh, okay, here we go. All right, so what kind of things did they say?
I shined when I trained them.
Yeah? So they came up to you and gave you feedback? All right. So there's that element of connection. This is really important because there's lots of people who want to be trainers, right? And there's some of you who need trainers. But to actually have a trainer, especially one who's a supporter profile, supporters will take more time than a star will take. Stars would rather shine larger to larger numbers. Supporters would rather actually spend more time, which is why supporters tend to have the most loyal teams, because they're personalizing things much, much more. It's just a natural thing that they do, right? And so do people find you a pretty good team member?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the same reason, right? So by knowing that, this is about you earning the right to already be of real value, even though you've never been in an entrepreneurial business, to people who are in an entrepreneurial business, right? So just by saying that, and again, your name was Or, right? So can I see a show of hands of people here in the room who already have got an education-based business? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, we've got quite a lot of hands up, right? And if you were to say what type of education-based business, for kids, for big training businesses, for some other kind of business like women leadership, what would be the ideal one for you?
For youth, like for teenagers.
For teenagers, all right? So,
College students.
okay, great. So can I see a show of hands of anyone here who's got an education business which is focused at teenagers, or has teenagers as a large part of it, where you actually need a trainer or trainers at the moment? Can I see a show of hands? So we've got a hand up over here, we've got a hand up over there. We've got a lady right here. You have a training business? Which one down here? We have you have a training? She's actually been sitting here right at the front here at the moment. What's your training business? We've got another microphone.
Passion test.
And what's your name?
Yeah.
Gare? So Gare, you have a passion test. What's your profile?
Huh?
Your profile, your wealth dynamics profile?
Pardon?
Your wealth dynamics profile, you know, we talked
Oh
about the
yes,
profiles earlier.
supporter and star.
So you're also supporter, but also star,
Yes.
all right? And this is great. If you're a star or a supporter, you don't need to create the product yourself. So the passion test was created by Janet and Chris Atwood.
Yes.
They're our partners, and so we have a passion test on Genius U as well.
And then create the youth club.
So have you, oh great, okay, so
I used to create the youth club when after 13 years
yes,
but in that time I'm manager, direct marketing in Siam Center and Discovery Center.
Okay.
Yes, I used to do, but I cannot be back
Right.
again.
Right.
Yes.
So now you're using the passion test.
Yes.
You work with teenagers?
Yes,
Okay. And you need trainers at the moment.
yes,
And you're right here in Bangkok,
yes,
all right, with a world-class product, with the need for trainers,
yes,
looking for someone that can support you.
yes,
Someone like a supporter would be awesome to do that.
yes.
Or is sitting right, in fact she's now standing right behind you. So the two of you should definitely have a conversation
Yeah.
and see what you guys can do together.
Yeah.
Let's give them both a round of applause. Thank you guys. And I think that's like, well, it's a pretty literal metaphor, but it is about the fact that the opportunity often is just like a couple of meters away. And we've just shown that here in this room. It really is what happens in this room in terms of the actions you take and the people you connect with. And can everyone see that when the two of them connect and they choose to work together, it isn't even how they help each other. It's how they then help the likes of Chris and Janet, who are in America right now, who don't even know that conversation happened, but I'll send them this video so they do know. And secondly, it's about all those teenagers that will now be able to be supported to get all that great knowledge from America and from Chris and Janet through that partnership that then actually makes all the difference. The biggest issue with most people is that they see their wealth as an opportunity. It's like something that might happen. Because if it happens, great, but if it doesn't, I'm still okay. The moment you look at your wealth as an obligation, which is that it must happen, because otherwise those teenagers aren't going to get that support, right? They're like, if we don't work together, if we don't figure out a better way to get to them, then they're the ones that are missing out. And the moment you make it an obligation, then you follow up. You make the call, you spend the time to work together, and you find a way to make it work even when times are tough. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of like leave it at that and say thank you very much everyone for watching this video. Thank you everyone from here in Bangkok. Let's give them all a big wave and a big cheer. Thank you guys. Until next time.